Good morning and welcome to Cooley Outdoors. I'm your host, Brandon Scott, and today with me again is Nash. And where we're going today is not going to be much of a secret. It's one of the more well-known places in Western Washington, the Franklin Falls Trail, which is, and then also, if it doesn't rain too hard by the time we get done, we'll go up the Denny Creek Trail a little ways and go see some waterfalls up there too. But it is late November, the Sunday after Thanksgiving. And late November in Seattle means rain. And lots of rain. We had an atmospheric river come in and dump a ton of rain to our counties to the north in Whatcom and Skagit County. And that flooded out pretty much the whole county. And another big one rolled through last night and is supposed to continue sometime this afternoon. But it's not actively raining right now. It's just a little foggy. So we're going to slap our rain gear on and go be dumb and go see some waterfalls literally roaring with water. Thank you for joining us.
Alrighty, let's go shopping for books for today's adventure to Franklin Falls. It is right at the tippy top of Snoqualmie Pass. So Central Cascades, beyond Mount Si, and oh shuck-e-darn. They even have a 55 hikes of Snoqualmie Pass. So, pull those three out. Oh, get up. Drop book on toe. That would have hurt really bad. Day hike, Central Cascades. Oop, I saw a waterfall. That was Snoqualmie Falls. Blah, blah, nope, Stevens, no. Snoqualmie Pass, Franklin Falls, right there. So 55 and 56 is what we're attempting to do. 56 for sure, 55 if we're feeling good about ourselves. 56, Franklin Falls, 2 miles round trip because the road is not closed. If the road is closed, like it will be later in the winter, it becomes like a 4 mile round trip, 6 mile round trip or so, because then you got to snowshoe those extra 2 miles of roadway. Hour, 200 feet elevation, easy. You can do it any time of the year. The best time is to do it in early spring through summer when the water's going crazy. That's what the pretty waterfall looks like. 75-foot horsetail, easy peasy lemon squeezy. And Mount Si, if it's got it, we'll say the same thing. Really? Malacca Lake would be what else we were doing. Huh. Mount Si doesn't do Franklin Falls, probably because too many people go it and it's only a mile long. 55 hikes around Snoqualmie Pass. I'd be very surprised if it doesn't. South Fork, North Ridge, South Fork, South Ridge. Does this really not cover Franklin Falls either? 31, right there, 31, 20, 48, somewhere in here, 39, 4, 33, 32, 31, Franklin Falls. 2 miles, 200 feet, mid-June through November, yada, yada. Another pretty picture of Franklin Falls with a bunch of people. I can tell you for a fact that rock sure as sucks is not there. And since it's also got it in here, previous hike we're going to go up barely a little bit, Malacca Lake. 9 miles, 6 hours, mid-July through October. It's late in November. We're not going to do it because 4,900 feet's the top part. In November, even with the Pineapple Express warm front rolling in, there's still feet of snow already at that elevation. Not happening. All we'd be doing is that little section between my middle finger and my ring finger hunting for a waterfall in there right under the viaduct. Not even making it to the wilderness boundary. So, there you go. 3 good books for Stevens Pass, both of these. Snoqualmie Pass. You saw the other Stevens Pass book over there. Observe the bookshelf. Yum. But that's what we're doing. Gonna go try and get wet and go see a big boy waterfall. All right, so we have started up
the trailhead. The trailhead is not where the parking lot is. You have to follow a little mini trail down because there's two trails here and they are both absolutely packed full of people in the summer. So there's a separate parking area that holds probably 40 or 50 cars, I would say. And if you think the camera angle is a little funny, it is. Since it's winter, it's gonna be cold and wet, I've decided to take the GoPro off from on top of my noodle and put it on my chest. And put it on the chest mount in front of my chest like I wore when I went cliff jumping at Salmon Lasac. And this is to hopefully keep it a little safer, a little more out of the elements, hopefully keep it a little warmer so that the battery lasts a little longer. So that's why the angle is a little funny. Nash didn't magically get an 8-inch growth spurt, I promise. He's still short like me. So we're trying this out, see how this works. But the plan for the day is to go up to Franklin Falls, put our chairs out, enjoy the waterfall for a little bit, and then come back, hopefully go up the Denny Creek Trail a little ways if we're not too cold and miserable yet. Go see some waterfalls up the bottom part of that trail, because in the summer these trails are a zoo. But you come out, you come out in the winter and it's not nearly so much a zoo. There's only 8 cars in the parking lot at 10 o'clock in the morning versus the parking lot being full by about 8 a.m. in the summer. So this is what the trail's like. Got the river right there the whole way. And the weird funny thing about Franklin Falls is when we get there I'll show it to you, but the westbound lanes of I-90 are right there, eastbound lanes are right there, so we're right in between I-90 the whole way. Of course, even in winter, still don't got the trail alone. Nash and I are battling this elderly couple and their son who decide to cut down the trail right as we were leaving the parking lot, and are walking just quick enough to be going about our speed, but slow enough to where if we didn't rush ahead and pass them, they'd be stuck in the camera the whole trip. I don't really want that. I am running into a bit of an issue. My socks have fallen completely down, and at least for the moment while it's not raining, I've worn way too much clothes. Got my thick fleece on, so I know we're gonna sit in front of the waterfall for a while, so eventually I'll get cold. Right now I'm really warm, and I'd like to go at a slower pace, but I don't want that elderly couple to catch up to us and be in the video the whole time.
You're lucky to wearing all this stuff when we get to the falls.
Huh?
You're gonna want to wear all this stuff.
Oh yeah, we're definitely gonna want all the clothing we're wearing when we get to the falls. I was also expecting it to be raining quite hard, but they keep pushing the rain back. It's not supposed to show up till like noon or 1 o'clock now. So who knows? Very large cedar tree. The tiny little Nash over there for scale. So Franklin Falls is the big attraction, as Nash almost eats it. Oh my god, keep it on the other freaking map. But there is another waterfall coming up here shortly that I'm hoping to get to see. Yep. This isn't the one I was thinking of, but I remember this being here. And the railing is in fact short enough to stick the camera over. So that is called Denny Camp Falls. It's not much, but it's still pretty. Still plenty worth it.
Does it have a hole in them yet?
No, but they got cold. They got cold standing in the water.
Are you wearing regular socks or wool socks?
Regular socks that I wear to work that normally stay up, but for some reason these decide to slide all the way down.
Yeah, crew socks or regular ankle socks?
They're crew socks. Little update. I have removed both my fleece and my Grundon. Pretty river shot, pretty river shot, pretty river shot. But for the moment I have removed both my fleece and my Grundon, so Grundon coat. So at the moment my top just consists of my long sleeve nylon. Because I checked the radar and it says rain possible at 11:15. It's 10:30, but the radar shows the rain getting held up by ridge lines to the southwest of us. So it might not even, it only says rain possible at 11:15. It doesn't say, it says rain beginning at 11:15. So, of course, Nash and I guess again incorrect on the weather on this winter excursion. We seem to be pretty good at doing that. Get all layered up and impervious for the rain and the cold, and we've had sun poking out multiple times. Oh well, it's just how it goes sometimes. Bunch of hibernating devil's club. Yuck. Don't think the camera is pointed quite high enough. Actually, you might be able to see right there is the westbound overpass, which means Franklin Falls is literally up around the corner right there. There's a lot of water going through this river. Thank you. Yeah, definitely wore way too much clothing. Get to the waterfall. I'm probably going to lose one of, if not both my layers under my Grundons, which will be entertaining to do. My legs definitely are not going to get cold anytime soon. Should be able to see the overpass poking through there. not really much car noise, even though the highway's right there, because the river is so loud and high and energetic right now. I bet during the summertime, when there's considerably less water, especially in like August, September, October, it's much more apparent. But we have arrived. I could hear the thundering before we got around this rock outcrop. Now we have arrived. Should still be a gravel bar to stand on, hopefully. Relax on for a little bit. Oh, there's gonna be a lot of mist. And there she blows. Sorry, trying to keep the phone out of the camera. Let's go see if this is still dumb. Highway overpass, waterfall. Idiots trying to get to waterfall. Look, Ma, that's us. We're the idiots. Oh, wow. There's been a couple of quite large debris flows come down since the last time I was here. This used to all be gravel bar.
That's the was there last time?
No.
No? That's pretty wild.
Yes. In this portion of the episode, watch Scotty and Nash do things you really shouldn't. Which includes finding a spot to sit. Nash, are you gonna go all the way? I'm probably just gonna stop here. When the water is lower, this entire gravel bar is exposed and you can sit on it. Kind of hoping that's what we'll be able to do today. But I don't think that's happening. So now I'm gonna have to find a spot to put the tripod down. It's probably gonna be right there. Brief rain shower will begin at 11:01. Cool, I'm getting wet from the mist anyway. That's the fire hose, that is Franklin Falls. Now I'm gonna try and find a spot to set up the phone, one of the phones, take a long exposure, and probably throw my Grundon jacket back on to stay dry. Because there's a lot of mist. Alright, so now we are walking up the Denny Creek Trail. This is another trail that gets abso-frickin-lutely swamped by people in the summer. Hence why Nash and I haven't gone up it yet, because it's a really pretty trail. Five pretty large waterfalls, including 2 swimming hole worthy waterfalls, eventually lead to a gorgeous lake, all within like 4.5 miles of the trailhead. And the reason why there's so many people, not just because the trail and the scenery is really pretty, but you can hear I-90. We're still in between I-90. This is all off of exit 47, which is the last exit before you climb up and over Snoqualmie Pass if you're heading eastbound, going from Seattle to Ellensburg / Spokane / Points Beyond. So it's like all of 45 minutes from downtown Seattle, depending on traffic. So yeah, it gets swamped. But when you come in the winter, they close the access road at the Franklin Falls Trailhead. So when you go from the Franklin Falls Trailhead, you have to walk a couple hundred yards. Pretty winter swamp scenery. Anywho, you have to walk a couple hundred yards up the access road to then get to the trailhead. And of course, people are lazy, so most times people won't come up here. We're still gonna see some people, but it's winter. There's not gonna be nearly as many people. I know, you don't want to stare at Nash's butt any more than I do, so we'll let him go along some. But the rain still mostly has held off. We've had a little bit of mist, a little bit of fog, but the rain is still held off. Keep going! I don't want to butt in all the video. So the rain has still held off. So Nash and I changed out of our Grundon pants, put our regular rain pants on that we have learned aren't so rainproof, so they need to be re-waterproofed. But we have taken the bulky Grundon pants off, which has made life so much better. Still have rubber boots on. I still have my orange Grundon jacket on, which you'll see in the Franklin Falls long exposure. Other than that, we're just cruising. It's gonna be like half a mile or less to the first waterfall, which is called Viaduct Falls because it's practically under the westbound lane's viaduct. And that's probably all the further we're gonna make it because it appears the GoPro doesn't want to have any more battery life. And Nash's sciatica is starting to act up. Plus hiking around in rubber boots really does suck, even if it's a pretty tame trail like the Franklin Falls Trail and the lower part of the Denny Creek Trail have been. So Viaduct Falls is probably all the further we'll make, but we'll be back some later portion of the winter, probably in our snow gear and our snowshoes, and hopefully come out to see Franklin Falls in the snow, and or go up Denny Creek Trail further, go see a couple more waterfalls in the snow. But we're at like 2,600 feet or so, so it will get snowy in here eventually. It just hasn't yet because it's too early in the season. Well, we've come to where Viaduct Falls supposedly exists, and we kind of ran into a 100-foot cliff face. There's angry water down there somewhere, but it sounds like white water and not necessarily a fall. It might be a multi-step cascade of some sort, but from what my ears are telling me, it might not be an actual waterfall.
Yeah, this kind of sounds like angry water.
Plus, there's an angry trickle over there, which I'm not sure if that's actually supposed to be it. That might be it. It's hard to see. It might be hard to see with the GoPro, especially if it's pointing too high. But there's an angry trickle in there. I'm wondering if that's supposed to be Viaduct Falls. because Denny Creek in this section is plenty angry enough to do it, but the slot gorge looks cut so deep and so evenly that I'm kind of thinking that Denny Creek itself isn't harboring a waterfall in this spot. It's that little side stream over there, which sucks. But we're tired, we're hungry. The next two sets of waterfalls that we know exist because people go swimming in them are like another mile up the road, up the trail, and we're not doing that in rubber boots. So that'll be some other time, possibly in snowshoes. But we're gonna go back under the viaduct. You can see it through the trees there. Go sit at the footbridge and have lunch. And maybe go above and go stand on top of Franklin Falls if we have energy and the gusto for it. Otherwise, Viaduct Falls may be a stinker. Oh well, it happens.
Ooh, whoops. Thank you for joining Nash and I on another adventure for Cooley Outdoors. That was kind of a short day. Nash's sciatica was acting up, and hiking in rubber boots really sucks. If I would have known it would have rained so little, we probably wouldn't have gone with hiking boots or would have gone with regular hiking boots instead of rubber boots for the whole time. And probably wouldn't have worn the Grundens at all, because it just barely missed it on us at all. A little bit at the end. But we went and saw Franklin Falls, which is really easy to go do. I'm going to be excited to go do that later this winter in snowshoes, because seeing waterfalls in the snow is just gorgeous, especially with all the icicles that are always there coming down that cliff face. And then went and looked for Viaduct Falls. You saw how that went. Not every waterfall is a 10 out of 10. I'm kind of thinking it's that little trickle you can kind of maybe see in the camera. I had to, kind of schmooze my face around tree trunks and through branches and squid. It's just a tiny little trickler. I went to another viewpoint closer to the viaduct, about another 60 feet along the edge of the cliff line, and could get a better viewpoint looking up into the gorge. And it's a very gorgeous, verdant little slot gorge, but it's just angry rapids. There's no big elevation drops. There's not even a cascade. It's just rolling rapids going through there the whole time. So I'm pretty sure Viaduct Falls is supposed to be that little trickler on the side. But anyway, thank you for joining us. Do I have any big plans for this winter? We'll be going skiing and snowshoeing when the snow layer comes down better. Right now, Paradise itself, up at Mount Rainier, which is usually my favorite place to go snowshoeing, and I want to go do some skiing out there too. It's got 1.5 feet of snow on the ground, and these Pineapple Expresses, these atmospheric rivers that roll in this time of year, jack up the temperature way up, so it's like 40 degrees even up there. So whatever snow falls becomes drenched in rain, and it's just a slush fest. And so usually you can't go play in the snow till Christmas time and after. So January, February is usually the best times to get out. And then March comes around and the sun gets warm, and there's a good layer of a good base layer of snow when all the snowpack's there and the sun starts warming up, and so you can ski around and snowshoe around in your snow pants, but then go around in tank tops. I've done it. It's great. But this time of year is not so, late November, early December is this awkward time where it's raining all the time and it's cold. So if you want to go hiking, you got to bundle up and try and figure out how to stay dry. And it's too cold to go up high in elevation because it's getting sleet and yuck and the roads are closed and washed out and blah, 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 blah. But at the same time, there's no snow on the ground, so you can't go do any snow sports. So you're kind of struggling to figure out stuff. So hopefully, if the weather holds on the other side of the mountains, we'll go play in the desert while it's still mid 40s to low 50s out there before the freezer slams shut on that side of the mountains in the next month. So stick around for that, hopefully. Again, it also depends on my work schedule, because work is a pain. That's why I didn't get out and do nearly so much. And wow, this has become a 3.5 minute outro. Yuck. All right, I'm going to say goodbye. Bye, guys. Thanks for joining us. Give us a like. Give us a subscribe if you haven't yet. Leave a comment on how you liked it. Tried to keep the lenses clean, but, rain, mist, it's difficult. See you later. Ciao. Have a good one.